Tether has been fined. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee. I want to talk about an article that's going through, well, what's happened to Tether recently, everyone's favorite stablecoin. Now before we go through this article, let's just jump onto the other screen and, well, let's look at the price of some cryptos. Now, wait a minute, why is Tether at the top? Well, I've changed it. I've changed the, I've selected the volume as the way to filter the crypto, not the, the number it is, the value of it. We can see here the volume in the last 24 hours. Tether is number one by nearly double, almost double the volume of Bitcoin, significantly higher than Ethereum and Binance coin. We can have a look here at the market caps. That's all fine, but you've got to see this Tether. It's the oil that keeps the engine of crypto moving. So many exchanges use Tether. So many exchanges don't even have access to real currencies, so you've got to use a stable coin. So if Tether were to get into trouble, if it was to fall apart, if it happened to be a big, elaborate scam or con or really dodgy, that would flow through and have impacts on the entire crypto market. That's the concern. That's why we need to, well, be aware of what's going on. And I know most people will simply dismiss it as FUD. They're not worried about it. It's just FUD. Don't worry, it's all good. And, well, I can understand why they have that position, so long as everything keeps going, so long as they can keep converting their tethers into real money, so long as they can keep getting their money out of crypto and getting value for it, I can understand. But you've got to realize, is this a house of cards that everything's been built on? But then again, how long can they keep it going down the road? So, Tether fined again over whether its stablecoin was fully backed. Tether was fined $41 million on Friday by the US Commodity Futures Trading Commission over not having sufficient monetary reserves consistently enough to say the eponymous stablecoin was fully backed by the US dollar. The CFTC said over a 26-month period across 2016 to 18, Tether only had sufficient fiat reserves to back issued Tether tokens 27.6% of the time. The order also finds that instead of holding all USDT token reserves in USDs as represented, Tether relied upon unregulated entities and certain third parties to hold funds comprising the reserves, commingling reserve funds with Bitfinex's operational and customer funds, and held reserves in non-fiat financial products, the commission said. This is a complete mess. But so long as confidence is there, doesn't matter. People are going to believe it's all good. The order further finds that Tether and Bitfinex combined assets, including funds held by third parties, included at least 29 arrangements that were not documented through any agreement or contract. And that Tether transferred Tether reserve funds to Bitfinex, including when Bitfinex needed help responding to a liquidity crisis. Tether was also pinned for not having conducted a professional audit of its holding completed, and instead retained an accounting firm to review its reserves, and Bitfinex transferred $382 million over before the review occurred. Have you heard about what happened to Ponzi, the original Ponzi scheme, how he was trying to move money around between banks to not get found out? This is starting to sound very familiar. For its part, Bitfinex was hit with its own $1.5 million fine. Actions covered by the fine include operating as a futures commission merchant without CFTC registration by allowing users to lend funds to others, as well as the company forced liquidating some customers. In doing so, Bitfinex violated the terms of its 2016 order, which had directed Bitfinex to cease and desist from offering, entering into, executing, or confirming the execution of illegal off-exchange financed retail commodity transactions, and from accepting orders and receiving funds in connection with retail commodity transactions, the Commission said. The CFTC said it has worked alongside financial regulators from the Bahamas, British Virgin Islands, Canada, Panama, Portugal, and Seychelles. In response, Tether claimed the CFTC has no issues with its current operations and said the issues were fully resolved when its terms of service changed in 2019. There is no finding that Tether tokens were not fully backed at all times, simply that the reserves were not all in cash, so they lied, and all in a bank account titled in Tether's names at all times. So they lied. Tether lied. Could they have access? A third party happened to have this asset that's backing out Tether. Could Tether guarantee access to it? As Tether represented in the order, it has always maintained adequate reserves and has never failed to satisfy a redemption request, the company said in a statement. Well, they're just fractionally... It's a fractional reserve, tethered stablecoin used to pump up crypto. That's it. This really is the reserve bank of crypto. They've got their own little reserve bank now. Isn't that great? This inquiry arose during a markedly different time in our ecosystem and focused on the same types of challenges that many in our industry faced at the time. As many companies around the world do, Tether agreed to resolve this matter in order to move forward and focus on the future. Earlier this year, the same pair were fined $18.5 million by New York for making false statements on whether Tether was fully backed. Bitfinex and Tether recklessly and unlawfully covered up massive financial losses to keep their scheme going and protect their bottom lines, New York Attorney General Letitia James said. Tether's claims that its virtual currency was fully backed by US dollars at all times was a lie. These companies obscured the true risk investors faced and were operated by unlicensed and unregulated individuals and entities dealing in the darkest corners of the financial system. The Office of the Attorney General found that Tether had no access to banking anywhere in the world, starting no later than the middle of 2017. On 2 occasions when Tether proclaimed it had the funds, the office found the money had been transferred the morning before, and in another instance began transferring out the next day. Oh, there you go. As of the 2nd of November 2018, 1 day after the latest verification, Tethers were no longer backed one-to-one by USD in a Tether bank account, the office said in February. As of today, Tether represents that over 34 billion Tethers have been issued and are outstanding and trading in the market. The office additionally said the pair hit 850 million in losses. So, well, if we jump back here, they're saying 34 million, but here we've got a circulating supply of 69. Oh, well, there you go, everyone. Wait, no, sorry, 69 billion USDT. 69 billion, everyone. Okay, let's have a bit of a talk about this. What do you think, everyone? Tether's been fined. The money that they've been fined, I don't think is going to make any difference to them. But is this Tether starting to crumble apart? I honestly think if the Fed Reserve or if the US starts to put restrictions on Tether, that's going to scare a lot of people. I'm surprised they're letting it continue. Because, why didn't countries pick up Tether as their stable coin rather than Bitcoin? We'll have to see. So we'll have to keep following this, everyone. Tether is a big part of crypto. It's the biggest volume in the last 24 hours by a huge margin. So you can't dismiss it. You've got to keep an eye on what's going on here. If it's not backed, well, it's just fractionally backed, guys. It's like they're fractional banking. Oh, boy. There you go. Bitcoin's growing up. Crypto's growing up, guys. It's just turning into the normal financial system with all the dodgy deals. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one in the comments down below. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I put together here and find, there's a few ways you can help out. You can join us on HeiseSays Live on YouTube or Twitch. You can support us financially by joining the channel on YouTube or Patreon, signing up for SelfWealth or Stake, using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. Take care, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.